Hello, my name is Mandolin Royal, and today Jim's gonna help me out by handling some birds so that we can try to show a little more about body structure, the chest depth, what we're feeling for, because you know it's tricky when the feathers are still on the bird. Now, both of these girls are 1 year old, and I need to go through this flock and find some more that need to come out because we're looking for those best 2-year-old birds, and it's a step-by-step process to get there. So this one on the left, you can kind of see she's a little more narrow. Her whole body, it doesn't have that roundness that makes a better carcass. But this one here, much better depth, much better width. She feels totally different than the other. This one feels more like a regular old laying hen. This one has a lot of substance to her. So next we're gonna have Jim show a view I can't readily give you when I'm doing this by myself.
Jim again. Normally when I come to a farm, I'm here as an authorized representative for the N.P.I.P program. But one of the cool things about this job is I get to look at a lot of different kinds of chickens. And one of the great pleasures is coming down to Mandolin's farm, who's actually working with birds that she is eating. Today, my lineage is exhibition through, I do the Ohio National and the State Fair and a few things like that. And, you know, we raise birds for feathers, let's be honest, how pretty they are. But coming here, you can see a program that's actively selecting the birds to grow faster, have bigger breasts, be more economical, sustainable, produce poultry. And this is a neat thing. Right here you have two examples of a relatively skinny, thin breast and a really nice meaty breast. If you're selecting birds to go forward with this breed, you're definitely looking for bigger, meatier, nicer birds. And here's a really good example of what that looks like. Over the past 50 years, the American consumer has developed a love affair with breast meat. The problem is the modern Cornish cross has become so fast growing and so disproportionately breast meat that we've kind of lost the chickenness of the modern broiler. So recently, in the past 15 to 20 years, we have kind of taken a step back and we're now developing Freedom Rangers and breeds like Bresse. They're a little bit slower growing than the Cornish cross broiler, but they're more chickens. They're more like a normal chicken. They can be left out on a pasture and they still grow reasonably quickly. They still have a reasonably nice breast, but they don't just sit around in the filth and be lazy and fat. You can see this breast is a very good specimen. You can see my thumb and my index finger. You can see how wide this bird is. You can feel it, how solid she is. She's got weight to her. And that I really like about Mandolin's breast. It is true that if you don't put any selection on your chickens, they tend after a while to end up like jungle fowl. Skinny little hyper birds. You're always got to be pushing your breasts to select for the breeders. The ones that are producing the next generation are the ones that grow fast, have nice breasts, and are healthy and lay well. You're dead in the water if you don't have vigor and health, and you're not going to do the breed a service if you don't constantly push it to have that good, nice breast. If we look at this breast here, this is by Mandolin standard, an obvious cull. You can see my thumb and index finger, how much narrower this hen was compared to the last one we just looked at. Plus, overall, for being the same age, she's not nearly as heavy as the other bird. So I think if I was going to breed, I would breed from the first chicken we looked at, and this one would be a cull bird.
And that means to us, chicken dinner.
Yep.
So when I get into my pens, after hanging out with someone like Jim, who knows his way around chickens, it gives me a new little view when I look at my birds. Because when you hang out with your birds by yourself too much and you don't get any other input, how are you keeping track of where you're at in your program and what's going on? Because you want to avoid becoming flock blind. So this one here, she has that nice wide body. Her tail's a little high though. This one on the roost has poor stance and a shallow chest. And then when I come in from above, not so rounded out, not so wide. So when my meat buyer comes, we're looking for all those 1-year-old girls that never developed into what I'm looking for. And that's why you do have to give your selections time, because you can't find everything about a bird in the first 6 months. You have to kind of go through them with a system and a process of elimination to get up to the 1-year mark, and you can go through them again. Pull out anybody with that torpedo-shaped, long, narrow body, because we're not trying to do a regular old layer with the American Bresse. They are supposed to be dual purpose. They're supposed to have utility for both meat and eggs. So that style is fine if all you're doing is eggs, but if you want those meat aspects, there's a lot more to pay attention to and a lot more to select for. So with all of the feed trial babies that are up and coming, we're going to nitpick through them as we come up to table age. We're going to rule out what we can rule out and see what we have left. And we're going to go through that whole process on how we get up to this 1-year point. So feel free to like and subscribe. And I'll teach you as much as I can out of this barn full of birds.